Yeah. Hello. Hi. Hello, and welcome to a ramble. We are rambling today about the department's paper 2 from November 2023. And today we're busy with question 4. Right, let's get into it. In the diagram, the circle with center O has the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 20. G, which has coordinates t and 0, is the center of the larger circle. Okay, I'm just multitasking as I go along, so you'll just be hearing some notification sounds in the background maybe. Anyway, so G with coordinates t and 0 is the center of the larger circle. A common tangent touches the circles at D and F respectively, such that D with coordinates p and -2 lies in the fourth quadrant. Exciting stuff. Given that D with coordinates p and -2 lies on the smaller circle, show that p is equal to 4. Okay, so D is a point on this circle whose equation we've been given. We've been told the y coordinate, so we can figure out the x coordinate. So we can do that by saying we know that p squared plus -2 squared has to be equal to 20 because D lies on this circle. So we have p squared plus 4 is equal to 20. So p squared is equal to 16. Okay, and we know that p is positive because we've been told D is in the fourth quadrant, right? So its x coordinate must be positive. If it had been in the third quadrant, then we know that its x coordinate must be negative. So so maybe we don't need the condition here already. So we can say p is equal to plus or minus 4. But we know that p is positive because D is in fourth quadrant. Okay, so therefore p must indeed be equal to 4 as we were required to show. Okay, right, so we now know that D has coordinates 4 and -2. Right, so the next question says E with coordinates 6, 2 is the midpoint of DF. Okay, so this one has coordinates 6, 2. And then we are asked, then we are asked to determine the coordinates of F. Okay, so we know that the midpoint of DF is given by the average of the x coordinates and the average of the y coordinates. Right, so we are solving the equation. So we know that the average of the x coordinates is 6, okay, and the average of the y coordinates is 2. Right, we've been given the midpoint. Okay, so maybe we can solve this one down here somewhere. Okay, so we know the x coordinate of D is 4, and 6 is the same as 12 over 2. So 4 plus xf must be 12. So the x coordinate of f must be not 12. Must be 8, right? 4 plus 8 will give us the 12 that we want. So that's first equation solved. Then the second one, we know that the y coordinate of D is -2. Okay, and 2 is the same as 4 over 2. So -2 plus something must give me 4. the something must be a 6. So the coordinates of f as a result are 8 and 6. Okay, right, moving along. So we now know, let me get my zoomy thing, so much easier to write small things using that tool. So we now know our D is 4 and negative 2. E, we were told, is 6 and 2, I think. And then F, we have now found, is 8 and 6. Yep, that looks right. Okay, right. So we are asked to find the equation of that common tangent in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So we can use any of the 3 points. I'm going to use D and F. So the gradient is going to be 6 minus 2 over 8 minus 4. This is me using D and F. Did I say I'm going to? I forgot. So the gradient is 2. So the equation is of this form. And then to find the C, we can sub in any of the points. Let's sub in E, just for laugh's sake. So then we know that 2 times 6 plus C must give me 2. So 12 plus C must give me 2. So C is equal to negative 10. Okay, so in conclusion, our equation is y is equal to 2x minus 10. And if we just sub this in, this point, 2 times 8 is 16 minus 10 is indeed 6. And 2 times 4 is 8 minus 10 is indeed minus 2. So that looks good. Right. Okay, do I really want to do this without looking at the answers? Yeah. Feeling brave. Okay, so next up, calculate the value of t, show all your workings, which is a standing instruction generally. Better safe than sorry. How am I going to find t now? Oh, guys. So we can find t so we know the coordinates of f. Yeah, okay, we can find t using the fact that, okay, the equation of the circle, the largest circle, is going to be x minus t squared plus y minus 0, which is just y squared, is equal to r squared. Hey, can we use this? I don't think we can, because I don't know what the length of this is. Oh, we can find the equation of this line. So we know the equation of the tangent. These are perpendicular because tan-rad. So then we know the gradient of this line. We can sub in this point to figure out its equation. And then we can just figure out where the x-intercept is. Okay, so never mind this idea. Okay, so we know that GF is perpendicular to DF because of tan-rad. Okay, and so as a result, the gradient of GF, be consistent in my naming, is going to be the negated reciprocal of this one's gradient, which we found to be 2. So this one will be negative a half. So the equation of GF will look something like y is equal to minus a half x plus c. And then we can sub in f to figure out what c is. So we know the coordinates of f are 8 and 6, I think it was. 8 and 6, yes. So that means negative a half times 8 plus c needs to give me 6. So negative 4 plus c is 6. Therefore, c must be 10. So the equation of GF is equal to y is equal to minus a half x plus 10. Let's just add a page here. Okay. Okay, we can bring this here. Why are you probably tickering here now? Sting. Super weak. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's the equation of the radius. Now we need to figure out the coordinates of G, so that we can know the center of the circle, first of all, but also we can know the length of the radius. We can work out the length of the radius. Okay, so G is the x-intercept of y is equal to minus a half x plus 10. So let us figure out where that happens. So we need to see where is this equal to 0. So minus a half x is equal to minus 10. So the x must be 20. So therefore, the coordinates of G, yay, and in fact, so that means that the coordinates of G are 20 and 0. And then now we can figure out the length of the radius, which is just the length of GF. And we'll just have a note here. F is 8, 6. G we've just worked out to be 20 and 0. So that is going to be 20 minus 8 squared plus 0 minus 6 squared, which is 12 squared plus 36, which is root 180, and that is 180 is 36 times 5, so this is going to be 6 times root 5. Okay, we don't actually even need this because our equation is r squared, which is going to be the guy under the third, 180. Wait, what are we trying to find? We're just trying to find the value of t. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. So we found that over here actually. So minus a half times t plus 10 is equal to 0, and so minus a half times t is minus 10, and so t is equal to 20. So all of this really is just unnecessary. I'll just write it out again. If we need it later, we probably will, and I'm going to kick myself, but okay, that's what you get for over answering a question. Anyway, so t is equal to 20, all is well. Right. Determine the equation of the larger circle in the expanded form. Okay, right. So initiate self-kicking sequence. Also initiate another background task. So just give me a second. Okay, right. So in order to figure out the equation of the circle, we've got the center of the circle is G, whose coordinates are 20 and 0. And then the radius of the circle, we can work out like I just did, so I'm not going to narrate it. Right, so therefore the equation of my circle will be x minus 20 squared plus y minus 0 squared is equal to this guy squared, which is just 180. Okay. Sorry, just starting another background task. Okay, right. So if we expand this, we get x squared minus 20x plus 20 times 20 plus y squared is equal to 180. Okay, and they want a 0 on the right hand side. Ooh, I'm pointing here. Okay, so we are just going to minus 180 on both sides. Okay, so that is going to be x squared plus y squared, and then come my x and y terms, so that will be minus 40x, and there's no linear y term, and then we get the 400 minus 180, which is 220 is equal to 0. Okay, I'm just gonna check my answer so far. I'm giving myself the heebie-jeebies. So let's just quickly skim through the answers, and I will tell you if I encounter something weird. Okay, so far so good. Right, on to the next. The smaller circle, and I think this is the last question. The smaller circle must be translated by k units along the x-axis to touch the larger circle internally. Calculate the possible values of k. So we need to take this little circle. Man, this is such a cool superpower. I love it so much. Right, so we are taking this little circle and we want to move it by k units, so this would be touching it externally. We don't want that. We want it to touch internally, like that. So that would be the first k value is, by how many units have I moved it so that this happens. Or alternatively, we could move it further along and it would touch it internally over there. Because anything beyond that, it touches it twice, well, it intersects it twice, and then it touches it once externally, and then they don't intersect again. So these are the two k values we're interested in. We're interested in how far did the circle move to go from here to here? Well, what makes more sense? For it to go from here to here, right? So that would be the 1k value that we're interested in. And then now I can't move my circle anymore. Oh no. And then the other key value that we are interested in. The magic didn't work. Busy exposing my squiggly circles here. Alright, and then the other key value will be the distance from here to here. Okay. Right. So the question is, how on earth do we work this out? And I mean, okay, this is actually not bad to work out because these are on the same, the centers are on the same horizontal line. So it just makes sense, at least visually, that the point that will touch this circle internally is this one. Is this x-intercept? It will touch it here. And when this circle has slid all the way over here, the point of this circle that will touch the circle is this one. That's just visually, that makes sense to me, and I don't think if we really need to interrogate it, but of course if you want to, go for it. Right, so as a result, we just need to figure out, okay, what is the x-intercept of this circle? What is the x-intercept of this one? Because this circle will need to move its x-intercept from here to there. And then likewise, if we can find the x-intercept of this circle, well, this x-intercept and that x-intercept, then we just need to figure out, well, how many units does this x-intercept need to travel in order for its new position to be over there. Right, so let us find the x-intercepts. Uh, 20 is 4 times 5, so square root of 4 is 2, and then the 5 will just remain under the root. So yeah, okay, let's get out our zoomy writer thing. So this one here is negative 2 root 5 and 0, and this one here is positive 2 root 5 and 0. Okay, right, and then let's find the x-intercepts of the larger circle. Which we found in the previous question, the equation to be x minus 20 squared plus y squared is equal to 180, and in this case our y is 0 because we're looking for y-intercepts. So this is x minus 20 squared is 180. So x minus 20 is plus or minus root 180, which we found to be the same as 6 root 5. So then the x is either then 20, so it will be 20 plus or minus 6 root 5. Okay, so this first one here will be too thick. In fact, I must just use the pencil. The pencil seems it will be even thinner. So this will be 20 minus 6 root 5 and 0, and then this one over here will be the 20 plus 6 root 5 and 0. Okay, right. So in order for this x-intercept to come here, it's going to need to travel from negative 2 root 5 to 20 minus 6 root 5. So we need to find the difference. So k will either be equal to 20 minus 6 root 5 minus 2 root 5, okay, which is 20 minus 6 root 5 plus 2 root 5, which is 20 minus 4 root 5. So that's the one possible value of k that will work. Or we need this x-intercept to travel all the way over there. So we need the difference between this guy and this guy, the distance between them. So 20 plus 6 root 5 minus 2 root 5, which will be 20 plus 4 root 5. Or another way we could write these two solutions together is k is equal to 20 plus or minus 4 root 5. So this is just the in other words, in other symbols. Okay, let's see what the memo has to say about that. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? The memo agrees with the answers. Let's see the approaches, because those are always interesting. I don't really understand the calculations. Guang, guang, guang. I don't understand the method. I just see numbers, familiar looking numbers, but I'm just gonna let it rest there. And yeah, as usual, I hope it's been a fruitful chat, and catch you another time for another chat.